So, as most of you know, the highlight of our typical program is not my presentation. Do you be pleased to know it's sure to. In any event, we have asked 5 students to speak today. I've already alerted them. They're under a little bit of disability in that this tapes well, but it doesn't, this particular microphone does not project. So I've told them that they may need to speak a little bit louder than they normally would. But what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm going to introduce all 5 of them initially, and then I'm just going to let them come up. Seriatim, I think, is the word that's used in Supreme Court cases. Is that right? So let me introduce each, and then I'll sit down and they can proceed. So we begin with Jael Guest, a French and Francophone studies major. Is it Francophone or Francophile? Francophone. Francophone, okay. Junior from Cane Ridge, Tennessee. Adriana Ramirez Speis, a junior from Murfreesboro, who is a political science major. Brian Maxwell, a Buchanan Transfer Fellow from Smyrna, Tennessee, a video and film production major. Hailey Harrison from Lakeland, Tennessee. She is an aerospace major with concentrations in professional pilot and flight dispatch and is a junior. And then last but not least, Victoria Grigsby, a sophomore from Taft, Tennessee. Is that named after President Taft? Okay, I don't know either. Okay. She's a Buchanan Fellow and is majoring in political science. So Jael, Adriana, Brian, Hailey, and Victoria. Each of you would come forward.
Hello, my name is Jael Guest, and I'm a junior and Buchanan Fellow, as well as an Honors Ambassador this year. My major is French, but I also minor in Arabic and linguistics, and my hope for the future is to receive a PhD in linguistics and conduct linguistics research, but I also hope to pursue fluency in both Arabic and French. My experiences at the Honors College here at MTSU have been varied because I spent my sophomore year in France, so I've only had 1 full year here, but I can say without a doubt that the Honors College has shaped my MTSU experience. First of all, the Buchanan classes have really defined my education thus far because the way that it's a cohort of 20 students from a diverse background really creates a unique classroom experience, plus the intimate interaction with the professor is invaluable. As well, I think it's important for education to be formative of the whole person, and the Buchanan classes take the gen eds that I already have to get and make them very challenging for my critical thinking and kind of expand my understanding in very valuable ways beyond what I have to take for my major and my minors. The other way that the Honors College has really supported me, besides the honors events that I also attended my freshman year, which those really helped welcome me to this college, also the staff is amazing. So all of the student resources and the staff and faculty here, that they've really shaped what I've been able to do here at MTSU. So I owe my study abroad experience to Laura Clippard, who helped me win the Phi Kappa Phi and Gilman fellowships to pay for my travel expenses. And my year abroad really inspired me and grew me in my major and as a person, and I'm so grateful for that study abroad experience that really, again, changed me as a whole person, not just my academic capabilities. And this year, I get to be an honors ambassador, which is super exciting to kind of give back to this community by helping come up with events that will welcome students to the Honors College in the same way that I was welcomed to this community. So those are kind of my thoughts, but I think, again, the Honors College has been central to my MTSU experience. So yeah.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, and thank you for having me. My name is Adriana, and I was raised here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. My major is political science, and my minors are honors and psychology. I'm also enrolled in our advanced EMT program, and I'm a proud graduate of our EMT basic program. I never pictured myself here at MTSU. Being raised in Murfreesboro, I thought I would go very, very far away, all the way to California or New York or at some private fancy school. But if my time here at MTSU has taught me anything, it is that every opportunity you have is what you make of it. I have had amazing internships here, but they're so much better whenever you're able to stay connected and have people you can rely on in the industry. Having a general education course is also a lot better whenever it's a class of just 20 people and you're actually able to ask questions without feeling like you're bothering 70 other students. In my honors courses, I've been able to engage in conversation and felt comfortable answering questions I needed to better understand the material. I've also been afforded many opportunities here, such as scholarships that help me afford textbooks and a 20 credit hour course load, clinical hours and a public service internship with Rutherford County EMS, a nonprofit internship with Rutherford County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition, positions of leadership in various honor societies and the Kappa Delta sorority, and so much more. It has been such a blessing to be able to attend MTSU. I've met my best friends here, people I went to high school with but wouldn't have met without MTSU, the people who support me and encourage me to grow professionally and personally. I've also discovered my future career here and had opportunities to get relevant hands-on experience that'll help me in my future plans 10 years from now. I've also gotten involved in research that I'm truly passionate about. This past April and March, I was able to present my honors contract research on genitopelvic pain and penetration disorders, and I was lucky enough that my advisor was kind enough to take me on as a thesis to study for the Honors College as I'm graduating a year early. And my thesis is going to be covering the mental health of medical professionals working in high acuity settings before, after, and during the COVID-19 pandemic. It's a mouthful, but it's something I'm very passionate about and will benefit me both now and in the future as a student and as a healthcare worker. Overall, my time here has not gone as expected. I enrolled and went to customs as a journalism major, and through the support, encouragement, and guidance of my friends and family and my advisors and professors, I've come to learn and love multiple disciplines and found the one I hope to pursue for the rest of my life. I've absolutely loved my time here at MTSU, and I'm endlessly grateful for the opportunities the Honors College has afforded me. My dad grew up in Mexico City and had to commute by train 2 hours to and from university for 4 years straight just to get his bachelor's degree. When he visited MTSU's campus in 2021, right before I started here, he was blown away by not only the facilities and buildings, but all of the opportunities that are available for all students. He, as well as I, recognize how lucky I am to have studied here at an institution that seeks to build up every student and help them to reach their fullest academic, professional, and personal potential. Thank you, and go Blue Raiders.
Hello. I practiced this speech in front of my family last night and I cried a little. So if I have a moment, I'll try to work through it the best I can. My name is Brian Maxwell. I'm a senior here at MTSU. I major in video and film production. I was awarded the Buchanan Transfer Fellowship last year of 2022. But my time here is so much more than academics. In the first few weeks on campus, I began volunteering at Adams Place Retirement Home, and the Honors College was nice enough to allow me to bring my 17-year-old son with me. And we made a few of those trips. We met all these wonderful people. Over the summer, he reached out on his own to retirement homes in Smyrna where we live. And every week for that entire summer, he spent volunteering at the Waterford Retirement Home the whole summer. Watching my son embrace community service is something that I will forever cherish, and it is a direct result of the Honors College. Mike would go on to join me as a dual enrollment student, where he would take some easy classes but he would also be able to take the visiting artist seminar that was specifically for honor students with a high GPA with junior or senior status. The day before the class started, I noticed we had one opening. I reached out to my advisor, Dr. Judy Al-Bakri, and the teacher of the class, Dr. Claudia Barnett. Mike was given a permit and we were allowed to take the class together. He excelled in the class, and as a family, my wife and I decided to forego his last year of high school, and he is now a fully enrolled student at MTSU, taking honors classes and studying video and film right beside me. Spending time on campus with my son seems like it's straight out of a Hollywood movie. Speaking of Hollywood movies, I knew I wanted to be a filmmaker when I was 5 years old. My father took me to see Back to the Future in 1985. The big screen, the lights, the sounds were absolutely mesmerizing to me. When I graduated high school in 1998, I moved from Mississippi to Smyrna, Tennessee with the specific goal of attending MTSU Film School. Unfortunately, life doesn't always go the way that we plan it, and that was not in the cards for me. Sorry, second page. So for 20 years, I carried around what is now known as a bucket list. All these life goals that I wanted to achieve, and I marked them off so many times I had to start another list and then another list. I became a husband, a father, a homeowner. I had good credit. All of these things that I wanted to achieve that seemed impossible, I just kept marking them off. But at the very top of that list was something that honestly tortured me every day of my life. Attend MTSU Film School. It was something that was not going to happen. It had passed me by. I was too old. I had children. 2 of them had autism. Life just wasn't, the dream that I wanted out of life was just not going to happen. I was okay with that. I had come to terms with that. I was happy. I was healthy. I had a good family. But I was able to attend Motlow State Community College, where I got an associate's degree in mass communication. And I was very proud of that. And I applied for, this is the part where I cried and I can feel it coming on right now. I applied for the Buchanan Transfer Fellowship, 100% sure knowing that I would not get it. Because who wants a guy that makes movies when you have people who are literally out there changing the world with math and science and philosophy and all of these other wonderful things that are taught on this campus? And when I learned that I was selected to receive that money, and I knew that I was finally going to cross that off of that old tattered piece of paper, attend MTSU Film School, I wept. I sat there in my living room and I cried for hours because the unattainable, the impossible had happened. And that was the moment that I realized nothing is impossible and nothing is unattainable. It took me 37 years to say this: I am a filmmaker. And that is only through the financial support of MTSU and the Honors College. Through my video and film studies here, I was able to launch the very first audio-video program at the Rutherford County Correctional Work Center, where I go every Thursday for 2 hours, and the residents, who are the worst of our community, get hands-on, practical use of expensive video equipment. They have produced a podcast, they have produced a short film, and we're now working on a full-length feature documentary that is all about their lives inside and outside of the jail. The program not only gives them the sense that they are worth holding all of that expensive equipment, they are worth the time that I give to them, but it gives them a sense of community service. And I had no interest in community service before I got here to MTSU. It was not something that I thought I had time or passion for. I can absolutely say now that when I graduate, everything that I do will be to service the community and to give back what has been given to me, the gift of filmmaking. If I have one regret from my time at MTSU, it would be that I only had 5 minutes with you today. I could literally stand here for hours and talk about the positive impact that the Honors College has not only had on my personal life, but by extension, the community that I live in, that my children will live in, and that their children will live in. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hailey Harrison, and I'm from Lakeland, Tennessee, a small town outside of Memphis. My major is Aerospace with a dual concentration in professional pilot and flight dispatch with a minor in honors. After telling people my major, one of the first things people ask is why? So I'll tell you. Both of my parents work at FedEx, so I was always hearing information about airplanes, aviation, and flying. There were days where my dad would take us to sit outside the airport and watch planes arrive and depart for hours. We would go to the FedEx Family Days to go inside the cockpits and pretend like we were really flying them. We also would go to the local air show every year, and I remember being fascinated by the amazing things planes could do and how technologically advanced they were. My senior year of high school, Mark Provo, a former Blue Angels pilot, took me for a discovery flight above my hometown where I saw everything from a different perspective, thousands of feet in the air. These experiences confirmed that I wanted to be a pro pilot major. After starting classes at MTSU, I learned about other opportunities in the aviation field. My sophomore year here, I decided to pursue a dual aerospace concentration for 2 reasons. One is so I'd have a backup plan in case my career as a pilot didn't work out. And 2 is because my dad is a flight dispatcher, and he is one of my biggest inspirations in my life. My parents are my biggest cheerleaders, and the reason I have the confidence to pursue my dreams, which leads me to my college experience at MTSU. Along with being at the flight school at MTSU, I'm involved in the Honors College. I first learned about the Honors College my summer before coming to MTSU. I applied for scholarships in the Honors College, and I received the Ralph and Elizabeth Gwaltney Centennial Scholarship and committed to pursuing an honors minor. This scholarship has allowed me to pursue my flight training, which I am extremely grateful for. Being involved in the Honors College has truly enriched my college experience. The Honors College offers introductory level courses in almost every major, including aerospace. Some honors classes I took through my undergraduate coursework were Survey of United States History, Fundamentals of Communication, Theory of Flight, Macroeconomics, and more. The smaller class sizes gave me a more personal experience and a chance to really connect and form a relationship with my professors and other students in the class. From my experience, smaller class sizes encourage more teacher-to-student and student-to-student communication, which has helped me both comprehend the material and have a deeper understanding of the subject matter. I have found that my honors college tend to encourage a more Socratic learning environment, student involvement, and feedback. I enjoy this learning structure since it creates opportunity for student interactions, which has led me to greater learning as well as forming new friendships. These friendships have enhanced both the Honors College and my overall college experience. The Honors College even offers the flexibility to add the honors enrichment to non-honors classes through honors contracts, which allowed me to explore additional course subject matter in deeper context by completing enriching course assignments. My next major step in the Honors College is preparing and defending my thesis next year. I have started reviewing prior thesis submissions and was very pleased to find such a variety of topics covered by prior students. I'm looking forward to working one-on-one with my faculty mentor in the thesis process and ringing the bells after successfully defending my thesis. Without the MTSU Honors College, I would not be a double concentration aerospace major, and I'm extremely thankful for all that the program has given me so far and the many things it will continue to give me throughout my lifetime. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Victoria Grigsby, and I wanted to come speak to you today about my experience at MTSU and specifically the Honors College as a Buchanan Fellow. My experience coming into college was at first one of difficulty. Being a first-generation student from the small town of Fayetteville, Tennessee, I was often unsure of where to find resources and did not know who to turn to for advice. When I first got to campus last year, I wanted to find a community where I could access said resources and advice, yet also find a place I could belong. To do this, I joined several on-campus organizations. Many of these were related to my political science major, such as the Mock Trial Association, where I gained many friends and had a chance to increase my public speaking skills, and the American Democracy Project, where I gained a love for registering voters and staying civically engaged. Yet despite the benefits and memories I have gained from these organizations, none of them has been as impactful as the MTSU Honors College. Through the Honors College, I have met new friends in my honors classes, found insightful advisors, and been offered life-changing opportunities. My first honors course happened to also be my first college course. It was very intimidating going into a course filled with so many bright minds, yet the small class size of 8 allowed me to make many new friends that I still am in contact with and work with a year later. Although the course was more rigorous and concluded with a 20-page research paper, the small class size allowed me to have one-on-one time with my professor and discuss class topics with my peers. This facet of honors courses has greatly aided my understanding of class concepts and allowed me to be successful in my major. Through my honors classes, I have gained insightful advice from my professors, yet I've also gotten to know amazing advisors within the Honors College. One in particular that I must mention is Miss Laura Clifford from the Undergraduate Fellowships Office. Entering my second semester of freshman year, I knew that I wanted to break out of my comfort zone and explore the many opportunities offered to me in the Honors College, yet I was not sure where to start. In January, I received word of an opportunity to study abroad with the Fulbright program from the Honors College. The opportunity was an all-expenses-paid, limited offer for low-income students in the United Kingdom. The idea of studying abroad in the summer was exciting, and I knew I wanted to apply, yet I honestly thought I would not be able to, and was afraid of having to adapt to a new country at such a young age. Yet I spoke with Miss Clifford, and she worked with me for the following months on my application and interview. I ended up earning a spot in the fellowships cohort and got the amazing opportunity to study abroad for 3 weeks this past summer in the small town of Aberystwyth, Wales. At first, when I won a spot in the cohort, I was very intimidated by the success of my peers. 8 of us were chosen from around the U.S. from different universities, including Georgetown and Johns Hopkins. Seeing the names of such famous institutions intimidated me, yet I knew the challenge would encourage my own academic growth and be something I could take back to MTSU. In the end, the Honors College helped by introducing me to many advisors and experienced travelers on campus, and I felt prepared when my plane took off from Nashville. This opportunity, which I would not have had without the MTSU Honors College, has been truly life-changing. I feel more capable in my academic and professional pursuits, and that I have a deeper understanding of the vastness of the world and the peoples and cultures within it. After studying international politics from the Welsh perspective, alongside so many accomplished students from around the U.S., I feel more motivated in my academic pursuits than ever, and I'm so excited to work on my Honors College thesis revolving around similar topics of political science. Despite the amazing experience I had with the Fulbright program, the Buchanan Fellowship has been the highlight of my time at MTSU. Through the fellowship, I have gotten to know many like minds and made connections I did not think were possible. Additionally, with the amount awarded specifically for studying abroad, I can finally realize my dreams of travel. Ever since I started learning German when I was 14 years old, I have dreamed of getting to study in the country. Thanks to the Honors College, that dream will hopefully become a reality for me this summer, and I will get to improve my skills and make meaningful connections that will aid my German minor at MTSU. Being a sophomore currently, I still have 3 years ahead of me to explore the various opportunities offered through the Honors College. After hopefully studying abroad this summer, I plan to use the resources within the department to apply to various political science internships and research programs. With the help of advisors, I plan to apply for the Tennessee Legislative Assembly and the Washington Center, 2 prestigious internships that will assist me greatly in my political science career. Additionally, I've been notified of various research programs and funds that I hope to tackle some of the big questions of the field with. Without the honors college community, I doubt I would have the confidence and support needed to accomplish such large goals. In conclusion, the MTSU Honors College has been essential to my success in higher education. Without the opportunities that have been presented to me so far and the opportunities available on the horizon, I would not feel so motivated to pursue my education and career. Thank you.
I'm going to put our students on the spot. I know you didn't want to sit up here originally. Would you be willing now to sit here and let them ask questions? Yeah. Do that? Yes.
Adriana, your thesis work on
Yes.
Nursing pre-COVID, during COVID, after COVID, extremely interesting, extremely important. Could you just speak to that for just a minute? What you found, the travel nursing and things like that have changed tremendously. I would just like to see what your observations are so far.
Yes, so I'm working on my proposal right now. It is due Monday at 4 p.m. And in my research, I've been focusing on all kinds of healthcare providers, those in EMS, those in ICU settings, but all those who work with high acuity patients, meaning their condition is critical and in need of emergent care and support. So I've found that a lot of the mental health problems that we've seen, like during the COVID-19 pandemic, people who have been working in the field longer had a better time adapting because they already had the experience and the support, and they had kind of, I guess, already put it into their groove in unprofessional terms. They'd already gotten used to the stress of their job, but the younger nurses or paramedics had a harder time adapting, and their mental health seemed to be worse, which I think is why we've seen a lot of people leaving the healthcare profession. I was also researching and comparing the mental health statistics of healthcare professionals in the United States as compared to other countries, and I found similar statistics between those countries. I looked at China, some European countries, Canada, and the US, and it all seems that people were negatively impacted by the pandemic. More to come.
John.
This is kind of a question for each of you. What was the first time you ever heard of MTSU, and who was your first encounter with it?
My first time hearing about MTSU was sometime in elementary school. I went to McFadden here in Murfreesboro, so we did a lot of field trips here, going to like book festivals or other events just to visit the campus and get us exposed to the opportunities here. My first encounter, I do not recall exactly who, because I was so young, but I did also tour MTSU a couple times before deciding to attend here.
I'm from 3 hours away, so I didn't really hear about MTSU until we had I think it was like a college fair at my high school. So all of the college came and set up their own booths, and I had gotten a little glimpse of it there. But until I decided my major was professional pilot, and I started researching colleges with flight schools, which there's not very many of those. I had found MTSU, and I honestly had not really heard much about their flight program until I started doing. Right, no, and I had not heard about it really until I had gone on the tour and started researching about it on my own. And then my first experience with it was whenever I signed up to get the college tour. And whenever they do your tours, I asked someone to speak to someone who was a professional pilot, and they set me up with another tour guide, and I talked to him about the flight program, and that was really kind of what got it started.
The first time I heard about MTSU, my parents were recently divorced, so I was living in Mississippi. My mother was living in Smyrna, Tennessee. And when I would come and visit her, there was a public access channel that aired a television show that the students made. And I was absolutely enamored with it. I drove to campus and illegally parked and walked around the dorms. So that was the first interaction that I had with anyone here. I was just so desperate to be here at that point, and I was young at that point for years, right? So the extra 20 years was just more seasoning on the steak for when I finally got here. But in real terms, the first person that I interacted with on campus was Dr. Judy Al-Bakri. She was probably the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 19th, 17th, 137th. I reach out to her almost every week for the entire time that I've been here. And the opportunities that I have been given, not just by the Honors College, but with the extra legwork that the people of the Honors College, like Miss Clippard and Dr. Al-Bakri and Robin Lee, who's over there in the corner, who I'm a big fan of, every one of them have been absolutely pivotal in me integrating onto campus and being allowed to do everything I wanted to do, all of the classes that I wanted to take, all of the community projects that I wanted to launch. It all started with an idea from the thesis where I was trying to find something academically to fit filmmaking. That's how the jail class that I started came, and all of that was with the help of the honors advisors. This is who you talk to. That didn't work out, try this. That didn't work out, try this. They never blinked when I kept coming back going, this doesn't work for me, this doesn't work for me, this doesn't work for me. They knew what my vision was, and they catered to it, and we found it. And as a senior now, as I'm finishing up my thesis, I feel like I'm in the absolute sweet spot of not only my own education, but the knowledge that I'm gaining going out into the community for people who are like me, who sadly just can't afford to be here. And those are the people that I sort of feel the burden for. And I'm just forever grateful to the Honors College for giving me the gift that I now get to give to other people.
Trying to think. It was probably when I was younger, I imagine, living in Tennessee all my life, probably heard throughout just people mentioning, oh, MTSU, or my son, my daughter is going to MTSU, something like that. The first time I really heard about it and thought about MTSU was definitely through one of my high school college advisors. They were telling us about the different options that are available for us, and I had friends that were going to MTSU, so I thought, wow, that sounds really good. I first heard of the MTSU Honors College on one of the Blue Elite tours, definitely. They went and told us the requirements, the benefits of the Honors College. So, and now I'm a tour guide myself, so I get to share that knowledge to other students. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got a two-part question for Hailey. Question one is, what about moving the airport to Shelbyville? How does that impact? You got to travel there a lot? Do you have any, classes here, but how does that impact you in your aviation studies?
I graduate in 2 years, so I'm not sure that it will really impact me much. Right, because from what I've heard is it'll be done after like 2 or 3 years. So by the time I graduate, they'll be finishing up. I've heard that they wanted to start moving as soon as this summer, but from what I've been told, they're going to be very helpful with the travel between there. They're planning to schedule like buses for people who can't accommodate to travel from Murfreesboro to Shelbyville. But this past summer, they did all of their operations out of Warren County in Tullahoma, which is a very long drive. And I think it went pretty well from what I've heard. I didn't fly this summer, but I have friends who did, and they said that it went well from what they were expecting out of an hour drive there and back. So I think that it's going to be a great decision. I think that it's what the program needs, honestly. We need more space. We need somewhere to go that can accommodate for the size of the program. And I honestly, I don't think it will affect me by the time I'm out of here.
Let me add, most people probably know, but yesterday they had the dedication there.
Right.
The governor was there, spoke,
Yeah.
Dr. McPhee, a lot of the town council from Shelbyville, And it really is it looks like it's going to be a really nice facility. Nice place.
And part two is, how did you get this Ralph and Elizabeth Walling scholarship?
So I applied for scholarships through the Honors College, and then I think I got an email from Miss Laura Clippard, and she encouraged me to apply for the scholarship. I think it was maybe fall of my senior year of high school, and so I submitted an essay for the application, and then I got a call. I can't remember who it was from, but it was the summer after my senior year of high school, notifying me that I was awarded, and I accepted. But thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So that's my wife's mother and father.
Thank you.
I was of interest.
Oh, this is for all of the panel. Many students come to MTSU especially as first generation students, because they're trying to find their way through the labyrinth of higher education, trying to afford it, and really have set kind of a lower bar for themselves. They kind of like, they want to try it out and see if they can make it happen, and if it works, it's going to work. And that leads to some feelings by others that, well, MTSU wasn't really your first choice, it was just your ultimate choice. Now that you've been here, would you tell, how would you go back to your high school and talk to the students there and say, hey, look, or would you go back to your high school and say to your students, would you say to them that MTSU should be your first choice and that an honors program absolutely has to be a part of your higher education experience, no matter whether it's one course or an honors major, you need to get involved? Would you say that? And if you would say that, why?
So that was a lot, but I will say MTSU was not my first choice. I graduated from high school at 16, and I was absolutely determined to get away from my parents and figure it all out by myself. So I actually got into NYU and Penn State, and I was determined to go to one of those. I actually withdrew my applications from like 20 other schools. I was like, this is it. This is where I'm going. And then as the time got closer, I was like, ooh, this is a lot of money. I'm also going to miss my family, and my church is here. All of my community is here. I don't really want to leave. So then I was like, okay, we'll do MTSU. We'll make the most of it. And I will say the Honors College has definitely helped. All of my classes, except for one I'm taking this semester, have been smaller than like 20 people. Just the smaller campus obviously makes it easier to walk around. It's very flat here. So that's nice. But it's also nice to be close to home. I lived at home my first year, so that definitely helped me to save money. The Honors College itself, again, the smaller class sizes, and just, I really appreciate their flexibility and being able to cross disciplines, because my major is political science, but the research I did for my honors contract and the research I'm doing now for my honors thesis does not have to do with political science, or at least that's not what my focus is on it. So I do really appreciate that. I would go back to my high school and promote MTSU, and especially the Honors College, because MTSU itself, one, you're saving money, possibly could graduate debt-free, which I'm doing. Very thankful for that, because I do plan to go to graduate school, which is very expensive. And I think it, like I said in my speech, it is definitely what you make of it. There are a lot of people here who will skate by, just make like B's and C's in their classes and just be like, yeah, okay, I'm getting a degree. I don't really know what I want to do with it. I don't really know what I'm doing here. But I think there are definitely opportunities, and people will promote them. They'll email you. If you actually read all of the emails you get, you will discover there are a lot of opportunities here if you'll just take advantage of them. And Yeah, I've really loved my time here. I'm actually sad to be leaving. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Since I graduate in May, I've been very sad to leave here. I might come back, but that is to be determined. I have some people to talk to, but yes, I love it here.
Let's talk about graduate school too.
Yes.
You and I and Laura.
Yeah.
Get you set on that.
Yes. Yeah, I had a meeting with someone today actually about another undergraduate program here, so I might come back for another bachelor's degree, but we will see. To be determined.
I'm trying to think of where to start. Well, I guess I'll start whenever I was applying to colleges. Like I said, there was not very many options. I think I applied to Memphis has a very new flight program. It's not very good. If you do any research into it, you'll probably find out why very early. I applied to here, Auburn, Delta State, if you've ever heard of it. It's in Mississippi, and Liberty. And really, like Adriana was saying, there was nowhere that, especially with flight school, there was nowhere that was very affordable besides in-state. So MTSU was not my first choice. I wanted to go somewhere that, I think Auburn was my first choice whenever I was touring, just because I wanted to go to the bigger school. And normally people get blinded by the whole like big SEC school thing. But I ended up choosing MTSU because it was more affordable. And honestly, like in general, I would go back to my high school and talk more about MTSU because it's really a hidden gem. Like I talk to people all the time about how there's so like well-rounded programs in everything. I mean, a lot of schools they'll know for like their business program or their film program, but MTSU has such great programs in so many different majors across the board. And I have not heard of any college that is just so well-rounded and excels in so many different majors. And I would go to my high school and rave about that, honestly. Even if you're undecided, like go to MTSU because you can go undecided and go into all of these amazing programs and not have to worry about transferring because they have it all here. I'm trying to think where else. Yes, yeah. Yes, 100%. It's
No,
you go.
do you mind? I think it's also like you're so young, or at least I was whenever I was applying to schools. I was so like blinded by like the freedom I would get. I also was like, screw my parents, I'm gonna like go be on my own. I don't need them. And turns out I really do. I just moved. I was like 2 minutes from my mom, and now I'm even just 20 minutes from her, and I'm like, Mom, I miss you so much. Like I always turn to her for advice, and I'm always texting my parents like, do you think this is a good decision? So I definitely think there's a lot of shiny lights at other places, but underneath that, it's not as good of quality as there is here. Also, I have class, so I have to leave, but thank you.
I think I've been pretty clear. MTSU was my first choice and my only choice. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my son, and then I'll get on to about the Honors College a little bit. I feel like with the grades that my son had and my ability and my knowledge of how applications and all of the things work to get you accepted into a school, he was being heavily recruited by Vanderbilt, UT, all of the schools that you definitely want your kids to go to if they can. And I sat him down and I said, like, your decision, do your research, but if you attend MTSU and you throw yourself into the Honors College and the Honors Studies, you're not going to be drowning in a room full of people. You're not going to be fighting uphill to talk to your professor. You're going to get early registration, which means you get the classes you want with the best professors in the schedule that you want, so you can work a job. You can work in the community. You can play Xbox if you want to. You can do whatever you want to at MTSU. And I don't think that's the case with a lot of other colleges. They're in part because this is a public university. And my son is on a Pell Grant. So through that Pell Grant, I know that if he comes to MTSU and he works hard, that Miss Laura Clippard is going to be there in her office waiting to get him scholarships to go anywhere in the country that he wants to go to learn, anywhere in the world that he wants to go and learn. And I don't think, again, this is assumptions, but I don't think you're going to get that level of care and attention at the University of Tennessee or at Vanderbilt or at Motlow State Community College or at any other college in this state or any other state. I absolutely love this college. I came in biased because I wanted to be here so much, but I came here to do a very specific thing. I came here to get a degree and learn filmmaking so I could go and live my childhood dream. I was going to be a filmmaker, not what I want to do anymore. All I want to do is teach film. I want to get smarter and more knowledgeable about the art of filmmaking so I can teach the next generation of filmmakers, because I've learned that I don't have what it takes to be the next Steven Spielberg, but I've met 10 of them right here on campus, and I let them know that Nashville is about to explode. All of those people moving from Los Angeles, they're here. They came to Nashville, they came to Rutherford County, and they came with big dollars. And those dollars are going to make movies right here in Nashville, and somebody on this campus is going to be the next Quentin Tarantino. It's just a matter of which one wants it more. And I tell my son, you're one of those people. If you want it more and you get up earlier and you go to bed later and you do all those things that you don't want to do, on the other side of that, people are going to throw money at you. They are going to beg you to take their money to do the things that you want to do. And if that's not living the perfect life, I don't know what is. And I'm confident that if I'd been given an opportunity to learn film anywhere else, I would have just learned film. I would not have had a passion for teaching. I would not have had a passion for community service. I wouldn't have an understanding of what it takes to deal with a person like me who's just completely lost. The patience that was shown and given to me while I sort of found my path as a 43-year-old on a campus full of 18, 19, 20-year-olds. And now I can't walk 5 feet on this campus without someone stopping me, asking me, how was my day? What is the thing you're working on? Can you help me on this thing? I am fully integrated to not only the campus, but my community. And that is wholeheartedly due to the Honors College. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. The Honors College has enriched my life in such a way that I promise you, the day I die, I will still be reaping the benefits of my time at MTSU. Yes, I would go back and tell my high school. I forgot that part.
Right, I'll talk a little bit about mine. So a lot of this has to do with me being a first-generation student. I only applied to 2 universities. I applied to Middle Tennessee State University and Austin Peay. I did not, in high school, I didn't think I was smart. I didn't think that I was capable. And a lot of that, I think, my family didn't really support me going to college. Now they do. They've seen I've had some success with it and things. But they didn't really support me. I'm the first woman ever to go to college in my family. I think my great-grandfather did, but neither my parents or grandparents. I think that had a lot to do with it. It's not what they wanted for me and my sister's life. More expected us to get married and stay at home, stay in the area. So it wasn't exactly what they wanted. So I didn't really have anyone, like I said in my speech, to ask for advice. I didn't know where to go. But I had a friend going to MTSU, and I didn't know much about it. I'm going to be honest at the beginning. I didn't know much about anything about college at all. And very confused, definitely just kind of sent in my application, hope that I filled it out right because I had no idea if I did anything correctly. But yeah, I think now that I'm here Definitely, as a political science major, being in Murfreesboro and being at MTSU it's the best option if you're going into social work, political science, anything like that in the state of Tennessee. We are so close to Nashville, and that has provided so many opportunities. I mean, we're right now working on different projects around the community, and it's such a big area, and it's so close to Nashville. Like I said, we're close to the Capitol. When people want to go and have their political thoughts heard, they can go to the Capitol and they can talk to their representatives and they can learn more about the process. There's so many internship opportunities that wouldn't be available to you in Knoxville, possibly. I mean, it's not the state capital. So I think that that's really valuable for political science being at MTSU, and I would definitely say anyone that's interested in law, political science, anything like that, administration, definitely go to MTSU. And the department is absolutely amazing. And additionally, now that I'm in the Honors College, I would tell all of my old high school peers, go to MTSU, because the Honors College is going to provide so many opportunities. I'm going to steal a little bit from one of the other people's answers. I forgot who said it, but the level of care at MTSU is unmatched, I think, in the state of Tennessee. I've traveled for different organizations, presented stuff in Boston, done mock trial in Boston once, and we went to, we were definitely surrounded like Brandeis University. Harvard was right down the street. So I met a lot of students going to more prestigious, I guess you could call it, universities, and especially in the Fulbright program too, Johns Hopkins, Georgetown. A lot of those students, when I talked to them, were simply not happy. They didn't really enjoy their student life. I think that they felt this almost kind of like unsurmountable like pressure on them, and they just weren't happy. They didn't feel like they had the resources to be able to get big opportunities. What they were going to have is a fancy name on their degree, but they're not going to have the opportunities that show employers in the future what they can do and shows their skills, really. So I would 100% go back to my high school, and I'm planning on going back soon with Blue Elite. We're going to go talk to high schoolers soon, different counties and stuff, and tell them, go to MTSU. Should be your first choice. I'm sorry, what was that?
You said you attended a True Blue tour stop?
I have not gone yet. I think we're going to go down to Huntsville, Alabama, actually.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said that was your first encounter with the university.
Oh yeah, they came to they came to my high school, yeah, but I haven't gone as a tour guide yet. Yeah, they came to Lincoln County.
I hate to cut this off. But yes, go ahead.
When I hear people like you, young people talking, and maybe even not so young people talking, but who are very idealistic and who are so bright, you give me hope for our country, yes, which we need right now. Yeah. So do great things. Help us all.